2 Minuten, für die Spurläufer 2 Minuten.
Hey, was machen Sie da? Zeigen Sie mal Ihre Aktivierung.
Boxer macht sich bereit, die erste Spurläuferin, Deborah Annen. 10 Sekunden. Deborah Annen, die Bahn ist frei. Debianen kommt zum Wall. Bereit macht sich Timo Rona. Debianen im Zielschuss. Geschwindigkeit 130,9. Da kommt das Ziel. 1:12,70. Sauber gefahren.
Fourth race weekend of the BMW IBSF Bobsleigh and Skeleton World Cup in the Engadine Valley high in the Swiss Alps, where for 125 years they've raced down the mountain from St. Moritz to Cellarinia. And so they continue to do so on the oldest, the most historic, and the only natural track on the planet. Hand-built every single season in the same path as it has traced for more than a century and a quarter. Welcome back, everybody, to the second and deciding heat of the women's monobob competition. We've got a close battle at the top. Lisa Buchwitz, the bobsleigh world champion from here last year, is currently lying in third place, just 0.12 of a second off the lead on a 1,700-metre ice track. That is a small margin indeed. Smaller yet is the gap between second place Bree Walker and our first heat leader, Bree, just 0.02 of a second back. She could easily claim her first ever World Cup gold medal here in one of the best places to win in the sport. But first, she will have to defeat the reigning monobob world champion, Lauren Alter. Didn't have the cleanest start. Nice drive from the world champion, though. And Alter has the tiniest of leads, almost the smallest that we measure. The battle is definitely on for the medals. Well, after a frosty start to the morning, it was -18 overnight. It's starting to warm up a little. Lauren Alter leads from Bree Walker and Lisa Buchwitz. Kim Kalicki, Ying Qing, Melanie Hassler not out of the hunt yet. And maybe something special could get Alana Myers-Taylor up into the top three. And then behind her, Andrea Greco, our World Cup points leader, Keisha Love, having her first race on this track. And then a couple of rookies in the field as well. Lauren Brzezowski, the first off. She will be the second off this morning. And Kelly van Petegem of Belgium. There's Lauren Brzezowski making her World Cup debut this weekend. Track she's not raced on before. Ying Qing of China had a pretty decent run. Wai Mingming, her teammate, was a bit of a mess. There's Bianca Ribby, like everybody else, warming up in the garage just below the start area. Cynthia Appia, in the middle of the field, Cynthia, not where she'd like to be, I don't think. Keisha Love and Alana Myers-Taylor, along with rookie Lauren Brzezowski, a three-strong US team. Georgetta Popescu, the Youth Olympic champion on this track in 2020, will be first off, followed by Brzezowski, Wai Mingming, Kelly van Petegem, Katy Bile, and the rest. And then we will get to the only tie in the field, Linda Wyszewski of Poland and Adele Nicol of Great Britain. They're tied for 10th, tied to the 100th. And that will be decided. Possibly won't. They could easily tie again in the second heat. And Lauren Alter will be last to go. Race 4 of the BMW IBSF Women's Monobob World Cup. We're here in St. Moritz in Switzerland, the natural ice track. 1,780 meters above sea level is the start. It is breathless here as Georgeta Popescu, the youth Olympic champion in women's monobob from 2020, kicks us off. Georgeta in only her 4th World Cup start. 6:24, 6:19 in the first heat. But a much cleaner run through the first corner. And that is exactly what about half our field will be hoping for. There was a lot of trouble with that little zero curve. Lots of people struggling with it. Through wall and snake 1 and snake 2. You can see the sun coming up, little skid down into horseshoe, double tap, into sunny, double tap. Oh, trouble! Oh, real trouble into Nash and Dixon. Coming out of sunny all over the place. Gets a tap down into horseshoe. Clatters telephone, comes off the wrong end of that. Out of Shamrock, onto Devil's Dyke, a little better, but the speed is low. They should be getting up to 100 kilometers an hour there. 110, 111 here, and she again flops late off the corner. The sled is running freer, I think, than she was allowing. As the day warms up, the track speeds up, unlike any other track on the planet. The morning frost comes off it, and it gets slicker and quicker. 1:14.0, well, 3,400s faster than her first run, but that could have been so much better. Oh dear, not the second heat that Georgeta Popescu was hoping for, I'm afraid. Well, here, out of sunny, gets a tag on the inside, comes past Monty's bolt sideways, and then all over Nash, rattles into Dixon, trying to steer around in the belly of the curve. Got away with that. That could have been a lot worse. If she hadn't reacted there, she could have rolled off Dixon. And going upside down through horseshoe, well, I'm afraid the second heat was not a great improvement on the first. What about Lauren Brzezowski? She was full of excitement to be here in St. Moritz, her first World Cup start. I'm sure she was nervous this morning for the first heat. Now she's got it done, she's got it down. Just go out and enjoy it. The sled she's renting from Misha McNeil. A couple of Misha's old sleds are in this field. So it is an Ixent sled like all the others. 6:02 start, but a couple of rattles and taps. These are classic rookie errors, not being able to adapt to the change in the track. Sitting nice and low, peering over the cow. All the monobob field are using sleds built by the same high-tech company in Bavaria. So it's identical equipment, you choose your own runners. And they're the same as a normal 2-seat sled. Nice height in horseshoe, great exit as well. Beautiful lines from Lauren Brzezowski. She had really good speed low down early on, and she is racing away now from Georgeta Popescu. She was 8/10 ahead of her in the first heat. She's doubled that. Ooh, little drift down into Martineau and Portago, but again, a debut in the World Cup, I think Lauren Brzezowski should be very pleased with. 1:12.82 compared to 1:13.54, nearly 3/4 of a second better. That's excellent stuff. We can see... You can see from the scratches on the sleds the hard work that Misha McNeil put it into in her career. And Lauren, didn't trouble the bodywork at all. A couple of taps and skids. That's worth 1/4 of a second. That follows you all the way down the remaining 1,700 meters of track. Didn't have the biggest height in horseshoe, but the exit was chef's kiss. Look at this. That's as good as you want. Right down the middle of the tubes.
Better.
There you go, and it felt it too, and the sled running freer. Nice stuff from Lauren Brzezowski. Now then, that puts pressure on the much more experienced Wai Ming Ming. Wai had only 0.12 of a second in hand after the first heat, which was a mess. She needs to improve on this. 6th in the Winter Games in Monobob, 11th in the World Championships here. So unlike Lauren Brzezowski, who's our current leader, she's raced on this track before. Steps in, oh, doesn't get in. At least it's a nice long run down to the first corner, but gets a bit much at the zero curve. 6:11, so she's still got some lead intact and has slightly better momentum, and that was those little skids and taps that Brzezowski had in the US sled. But look at that, only 400s in front. See the coaches watching on the wall. It's Switzerland's Rico Peter, I think. Into sunny, not sunny yet. Shades prevents the sun falling on the tracks, otherwise it turns into ice cream pretty quickly. Wai Mingming in trouble coming down to Horseshoe though. Okay, good exit. And that will start to build her speed, and she's a whisker quicker than Brzezowski. This is better. But why? It all drifted away at the bottom of the track as well. Good speed here, 109 kilometers an hour, should be 110 for the fastest. But this is much better in the second part of the run than Wai had in her first heat. Second best speed, but it will be enough to take the line. 2100s in front. So Lauren Brzezowski, well, there's a novelty as well in the leader's box. That doesn't happen in any other category of racing. So 1:12.73 for Wai Mingming compared to 1:13.42, so she improved by about 7/10 as well. It's not going to move her far up the order. The first heat was a bit of a disaster. Gets her foot caught in the bungee straps for the D-rings. Oh no, but you've got it hooked around the back of the seat, in fact. It's not a big seat, it's a tiny little sort of half moon that barely gives you enough pressure to push your bum against. Okay, well that's done. She can concentrate on tomorrow's women's race. 3 down in our field of 20. We get to our second rookie, Kelly van Petegem of Belgium. Anne van Nieuwenhuis with the blue towel behind her, her former driver. And now helping coach Kelly, the ex-great woman from Belgium. 24 years of age, leads the Europa Cup standings in Monobob. Drops in here nicely. 6:02 first heat, 6:03 in the second. That was quite clean. Not flawless, but again, oh, and you just ping off the walls, trying not to steer. 3,300s up on Wai Mingming. Again, like Lauren Brzezowski of the USA, making her World Cup debut. And he started driving a couple of seasons ago. Whoop. A little late onto Dixon, gets it sorted out for Horseshoe. Not too bad into Telephone and Shamrock. Better speed than we've seen so far. 99.4, we're getting close to the magic 3 digits. Little tap there, but shouldn't take too much speed out. 1:10.2, 68.5 miles an hour. Quickest sled down so far. Kelly van Petegem. 1:13.22. This should be a 1:12.50 or so, maybe below. 1:12.51. There we go. Good stuff as Wai leaves the leader's box. A very happy Anne van Nieuwenhuis. And it should be a very happy Kelly van Petegem as well. She cleaned up that act a lot from the first heat, and she moves into the lead. Best speed at the bottom, 81.3 miles an hour. And these little pings, again, all of this, that's probably worth the better part of 2/10 by the end of the run. Out to Martineau. Little tap before Portago. Not taking too much speed out of the sled, but that is all uphill. Kelly van Petegem, your new leader. Next up, Cathy Barr. Well, we didn't see a start in the first heat. We barely saw a start in the second heat. Cathy Barr returning to racing after last season off recovering from mini strokes. She seems to be perfectly fine now, but, oh, bit of a nightmare in the first corner. She had 2100s in hand over Kelly van Petegem from the first heat. She should be able to hold that advantage, but all of that extra skidding reduces it down to near nothing. Into Snake, nice and tidy. Katie Bile knows how to get down this track. Out of Sunny, comes out straight. Oh, but again, all over Nash and Dixon. What is it about Nash and Dixon that these monobobs make it look so hard this year? 500's back, fourth best speed. Oh, losing the front of the sled. It's washing out everywhere for her. Kelly van Petegem is going to pick off a hugely experienced rival in the form of Katie Bile. And Katie is going to drop to second place. She should be ahead of Wai Ming Ming. No, she's behind, 1:13.25. Well, that is a disaster, I'm afraid, for Katie Bile. She's going to have to hope that tomorrow's women's race is an awful lot better. The sled not doing what she wanted. Look down here, Nash to Dixon. She gets a big skid, gets tapped away, crossed up, backed into Dixon. Whoa! And then down in the forest again. Sled just with a mind of its own. Kelly van Petegem leads, 5 down, 15 to go. Frances Margot Bock, the 6 of our starters, second and deciding heat race for the BMW IBSF Monobob World Cup in historic St. Moritz. In the red jacket, Bruno Mijon. In the blue, Max Robert. Coaching France and Monaco, the two of them. Margot started only 18th fastest, a 6:12 getaway in the first heat, came down 15th, so she had a tidy drive. 6:14, a couple of pings, but the runners coming straight towards you. And it's less damaging to bounce off the wall if you come straight than if you skid and get those runners sideways. 2100's up on current leader Kelly van Petegem. She had 3600s from the first heat. Kelly started 1100s quicker. Now she's just starting to creep away again from the Belgian slider. Up to Horseshoe. Decent line. Nice smooth exit as well. 3800s, building the speed. 100.3, fastest sled so far. Margot doesn't have the oomph at the start, but she can drive a sled. 1:11.7, best speed we've seen, 69.4. Oh, double tap coming down into Martineau. And you start to go uphill approaching Martineau and all the way uphill to the finish line. Ducks ahead out of sight, rattles it off Portago, but 8400's in the lead. Kelly van Petegem applauds from the leader's box, which she will leave, and Margot Bock will move in. 8300's better. Part of that will be a slicker, quicker track. Part of that will be her ability to handle a slicker, quicker track. Buries herself in the sled to try and get that big boost off the line. It's a tough technique. And then in Horseshoe, that's pretty much the average high line, and she landed it nicely into Telephone. Margot Bock, your leader. Next up, Bianca Ribby of Canada. 14th fastest starter, 6:05, came down in 14th place. Let's see if she can make a good fist of the zero curve and get a clean run down the 2 flat straights that follow. Everybody's bouncing around. Not enough weight in the sled of a monobob, with just one athlete in to really give the grip. There's no pressure from G-forces there, you're just sliding around on sheet ice. Highly polished runners for minimum friction means there's minimum friction. they don't slow you down or stop the slides. Out of Sunny, 3/10 up. Much better fist of Nash and Dixon than some we've seen so far. Good height. A little late flop out of Horseshoe into Telephone. But keeping it clean, not the best speed, so the gap will start to shrink. Was 3/10 at Sunny. Half of that remains. Still only third best speed. This is going to be tight with Margot Bock. Needs to be very clean here. Okay, just about. Second best speed, it's going to be close. Has Bianca Ribby got enough to stay in the lead? No. Wow, 500s, that's pretty tough over 3 miles of ice. 112.18 to 112.03 of Margot Bock, and that was enough to evaporate the 1/10 of a second advantage that she had.
I don't know, man. It doesn't feel much better than that.
Well, there was a lot good about that. Late flop out of Horseshoe, though. See the runners drop down. Maybe a bit of a hard take onto Telephone as a result, but there you go. Them's the breaks. Right, she slips a spot. Margot Bock leads as we get to the sled of Victoria Chinanska, 13th in the first heat. Victoria was the Youth Olympic Games silver medalist on this track in 2020, behind champion Georgeta Popescu. Beat Georgeta last year in the under-23 Junior Worlds to take gold ahead of her Romanian rivals silver. They both raced here in the World Championships. Victoria was 12th in the monobob, Georgeta 16th. So it's how you progress. It's not where your rivals are, it's where you started, and Victoria Chinanska continues to improve and impress. 6:19 start in the first heat, 6:16. Come on, straighten up, baby. There we go. See the athletes barely daring to breathe. They've humped this sled off the line, sprinted as fast as they can downhill, loaded with as much momentum as they can. In nearly 2,000 meters of altitude, the lungs will be burning, the chest will be heaving, and they're trying not to move a fraction so that they don't break the sled into a skid. Ooh, okay, straightens it up out of Dixon. Good height. Nice and quiet, smooth stuff from Victoria Chinanska. Was impressed with the lines in the first heat, maybe a little offline there, a fraction. This is good stuff. Second best speed, only a whisker slower than Margot Bock. 2100s, keeping her lead alive. Best speed at the bottom. She will lead from Margot Bock. Victoria Chinanska will be no worse than 13th, 111.97. Margot leaves the leader's box. Little ripple of applause for her rival. Nearly nearly 3/4 of a second faster in the second heat, and again, some of that coming from the faster track, the less frost on it now, means that the sled really runs much quicker, but you've got to deal with it. And again there, down in the forest, sled getting onto the corner just a fraction quicker than she'd anticipated, but she gathered it up nicely. Good stuff from Victoria Chinanska. Now, she was only 900s behind Cynthia Appia of Canada in the first heat, so again, this is going to be a very tight battle. Chinanska extending her advantage over Bianca Ribby, and that means Appia needs to find 3/4 of a second as well. 5:88, 3 taps. That'll do. Best speed so far. She's starting nearly 3/10 of a second quicker than Victoria Chinanska. That's the legacy of being a strong, fast brakewoman. Makes you a strong, fast driver as well at the push. And that means that it's going to be very tough indeed for Chinanska to hold on unless Appia makes a lot of mistakes down the bottom. Falls off Horseshoe into Telephone. Rattles Devil's Dyke, but still over half a second up at the last clock. Still over a third of a second in hand. Only the 5th best speed, a lot of ice still to cover. Needs to be clean, hits the wall. 4th best speed, should have the lead, won't be by much, but she should lead at the line. She does by 1600ths of a second. Wiktoria Cernanska will leave the leader's box. Cynthia Appia will take up residence, but for how long? That was only 700ths of a second quicker than Cernanska's run. Well, she aims for the woodwork in horseshoe, gets it high, rotates the sled, brings it down just a whisker early. And then hard take on. See, look, bumps her out of the seat. Boom, watch that. You see her coming up. Cynthia Appia in the leader's box with 11 sleds to go because we had a tie for 10th spot. The time was set by Great Britain's Adele Nicol, tied to the 100th by Poland's Linda Wyszewski. So Linda goes first. And Adele Nicol will wait her turn in another couple of minutes. So Linda Wyszewski, third last out of the start shed. 14th, 12th and 15th in the 3 races so far this season. This is her 4th World Cup race. So 12th in Eagles, her personal best so far, hits the first corner. That's not too bad, 5.94 getaway, a whisker quicker than her first heat. And she is on PB target at the moment. This will be, if she can hang on, even in 11th place, if she's ahead of Cynthia Appia, this will be her best World Cup race to date. Little swervy there and rattles the wall coming down from Snake to Sunny. 1200ths up. Cynthia Appia outstarted her by nearly a 10th. So Wyszewski's going to have to drive this neatly down. She too rattles telephone. 8th speed, she's going behind Cynthia Appia. The question now is how far does she fall? Because Wiktoria Cernanska is only 1600ths off the leader. 8th best speed still. It's going the wrong way for Linda Wyszewski. Smooth lines down into Martineau and Portago, but too little too late. She will be behind and she is in 3rd place. Only 200ths ahead of Margot Bock in 4th. Well, with 10 to go, 3rd place means that's not going to be a PB yet. She will need help to be better than the 12th place she had earlier this season in Innsbruck. So 1:12.43, not quite as tidy as her first heat. Wow. Again, Nash and Dixon. We can hear our TV announcer saying there's going to be a 2-minute pause now for the television timeout, so commercial opportunity. So Linda Wyszewski, she actually came down only 100th quicker than her first heat. 10 down, 10 to go. It's Cynthia Appia who leads here from Wiktoria Cernanska, and Linda Wyszewski lies in 3rd place, just a whisker ahead of Margot Bock. Well, here we are high in the Engadine Valley in the Swiss Alps, and I know there'll be a lot among you who are saying there's not enough cowbell. Contractual obligation fulfilled for this morning. There is more cowbell at hand. There's a beautiful start lodge there, the Gunter Sachs Lodge at the top, and the Dracula Club behind it, Bianca Ribby there. And there is your current leader, Cynthia Appia. Getting the sponsors, if she can remember which side of the vest they're on. And again, wrapping up warm because it's not, it's bright and sunny, as it so often is here in St. Moritz, but traditionally this time of the year, overnight lows around -20, daytime high around -10. So you can see why there's an awful lot of people up there in the bleachers in the sunshine and very few people hanging around in the shadow in the cold. It's a great viewing area. This is all public area, by the way. You don't have to have any special ticket or pass to get in and look down on the sleds, look down on the track. You can walk all the way down the track, right beside the ice walls of this track. It's a fabulous venue to come to. It's not cheap, as you can imagine, but it is a fabulous place to come and watch racing and to just enjoy an alpine weekend or two. And of course the history here, 125 years of racing on this track, and beside it the legendary Cresta Run, where skeleton was invented, and the Cresta Run continues. It runs almost in parallel. In fact, in the background there, left-hand corner, that's the finished corner of the Cresta Run. And in 1928 and 1948, the skeleton Olympic competitions were on the Cresta Run, and the bobsleigh competitions for bobsleigh and boblets, as they used to call two-man, here on the Olympia Bob Run. Race for the BMW IBSF Women's Monobob World Cup. We're in fabulous Samoritz in Switzerland on yet another miserable day in the Engadine Valley. 300 days of sunshine a year, and they bring most of them for us. In 10th place after the first heat, Adele Nicol. Sean Olsen, you can hear, and Graham Richardson, the coaches. Adele, British and Welsh shot put champion, former brakewoman, turning very quickly into a top-class driver. Made her debut in Innsbruck with 2 races, 5.98 start, better than her 6.02, and a reasonably tidy run down these long straights as well. Second best velocity. Cynthia Appia of Canada, our current leader, much more experienced in terms of being a brakewoman and a driver. Appia in her 12th World Cup start, and Adele in her 3rd. First time driving here in Samoritz. Nice lines out of Nash and Dixon. Here we go, up to Horseshoe. She had a great first heat. She's a little behind Cynthia Appia at the moment. Now she's got in front, and she was very quick, and again she is 1:01.1, best speed of all. She had a great run in the lower part of the track, little drift there, second best speed, building the advantage over Appia. This could be a huge day for Adele Nicol. Top 10 run on the cards. Her previous best, 9th in Eagles. And across the line she comes with a 1:11.74, and that is an excellent run. Top 10 guaranteed for the second time in only 3 starts for Adele Nicol. First time down here in Samoritz, 4 training runs, so you've just watched her 6th run down this mountain. Now, she will stay here next week for the Europa Cup, will race the 2-man, and assuming that she completely saves that, she will then have qualified the 2-man sled as well as monobob for World Cup racing. So, exciting times for the UK's, or GB's, Adele Nicol. Nice stuff, Del, well done. That's the girls helping with the sleds as she moves to the leader's box. Now then, how long will she stay there? 900s quicker is our points leader, Keisha Love. Keisha has had a standout career in the World Cup, which she started in La Plagne with a gold, silver in one of the 2 races in Innsbruck. She is our points leader, but only 3 races into her World Cup season as a driver. 5.79, great start. 5.87 in the first heat, so that's a big improvement, getting on for a 1/10 of a second faster, and that will multiply all the way down the track. So she only had 900s over Adele Nicol from the first heat. That's out to 4/10 as she heads down to Sunny Corner. Speed is good, lines are good. Below Horseshoe is a bit of a handful for Keisha Love. Can she handle it now with the greater speed that they'll have? 3800s, oh, a little tap there. 3rd best speed, not quite as quick as our current leader, but she has got a big advantage. She can't afford any more mistakes though. 3rd best speed should be enough. Still 3/10 up. Clean out of Sachs, she is. That should do it. Keisha Love should hold on to the lead here. 3,200s up becomes 17 at the line. So Adele Nicol guaranteed at least a 10th place finish. Keisha Love at least a 9th. So she leads with 8 to go.
5.79 start. Much better.
Good stuff, Keisha. Hard to react when you're a relatively inexperienced driver to the dramatic difference in this track between early in the morning and mid-morning. Little late flop there, and again, that's the sled running freer than she was anticipating. Adele Nicol, Keisha Love, 1-2 at the moment. Our second Romanian athlete is Andreea Grecu. Andrea in 8th place at the moment after the first of our 2 heats. She finished in 14th in the World Championships, had her first Monobob World Cup podium in the season opener in La Plagne. That'll be the Romanian for go, I'm guessing. She is a good starter, 5.82. Little squirrely down the first straight. She's a tall athlete as well, but look at the way she bobs down. She bends her body, ducks herself down as much as she can out of the airstream. She'll do it in the straights. Once she's good with the line, she'll duck her head a little out of the way. I think, well, what's the point? If you've ever ridden a motorcycle, you'll know what getting out of the airstream means, even at 60 or 70 miles an hour, never mind at the 80 plus they're doing at the bottom here. And every 100 counts, especially when you're only 500s up on the leader at Horseshoe. Out to 800s, that was a tidy exit. Not quite as quick, though, as Keisha Love. This is going to be very close at the bottom. 1,400, still not as quick as Keisha Love. 1:11.0 is 68.9. Whoa! Wild in the forest. That might be a real problem for Andreea Grecu. Keisha Love could pick one off here. And Grecu is just in front. 1:11.55. I know. Paul Niagiu on the left and Julian Parcanu on the right. They were as surprised as I was. I'm glad that that happens sometimes when I look at it and I go, oh, I think she's losing it. And then they go, oh, we thought she'd lost it too. Well, despite that little error late in the forest, she went from 1,400s up to 2,500s up. Don't ask me how. Oh, inverted, look at that. Runners coming off the wall. That is as close to a crash as you want to get at 75 miles an hour. That's a noisy run to the finish if it doesn't land nicely. Well, Andrea with a bit of a frown on her face. I think she knows she might have played a get-out-of-jail-free card there. Andreea Grecu leads, 7 to go. And next up is the USA's Alana Myers-Taylor. Alana with a season away last year, having baby Noah. He didn't get down. Oh, this is a very, very particularly memorable spot for Alana Myers-Taylor, not just because she's had some good results here, because it was here in the World Championships that, not the 23 World Championships, the 13 World Championships, I guess, that her husband, now husband, Nick Taylor, her then teammate, proposed to her. And what a saga that has been. Nick now for the Sacramento Kings. And Alana back on ice and a great exit there from Horseshoe. A track where she really flows. She's absolutely in her comfort zone here. She knows she likes the track, she knows the track likes her, and it just suits her fluid style. Best speed so far, all the way down pretty much for Alana Myers-Taylor. 1:33.1, 82.5 miles an hour. Across the line, it is a big 1:11.17. And that is another brand new track record. Fastest run in the first heat was at 1:11.77, and the last 4 sleds, including Adele Nickel, have all been inside that. So the last 4 have all set new track records. Well, she doesn't go for epic height here. What she does do is smooth exit. See the hands crossed over there, big steer to bring it down, then straighten up and allow it to ride into telephone beautifully.
Love you, Nick. Love you, Noah. Love you, Nico.
6 to go. And for Switzerland, Mel Hassler. So Melanie Hassler for Switzerland. She won the Swiss Championships in Monobob before Christmas, or actually before the New Year. 7th in the Worlds here, 7th in the Olympic Games in Mono as well. Silver medalist, her first Monobob medal in La Plagne. 5.87, exactly the same as her first heat. Second best velocity. Keisha Love still quickest at that stage. From here on down, though, Alana Myers-Taylor ticks all the high-speed boxes. 1400s ahead of Alana, so on track record pace. And she's going to need one pretty much to stay ahead of Alana as well. 1200s out of the medals. That will be what Melanie Hassler is thinking of. Somehow overhauling Lisa Bukvitz. 500s up, though. Hasn't got the speed of Alana. And this is going to be a deficit. Better speed now, but only by the tiniest of margins. Alana's 1:11.8, 1:12.0. Mel taps the wall. I don't think she's got it. I think she's going to be behind. It could be to the 100th of a second. Alana Myers-Taylor or Mel Hassler. It's Alana. 1:11.30 for Melanie Hassler. And Alana Myers-Taylor will be no worse than 6th place. Well, there'll be disappointment on her face. A little bit of a disappointed look from Peter Ramseidel and Peter Rico Peter as well. But, didn't have the speed below Horseshoe. Held the height late and then brought it, had to bring it down quite hard. And then here as well, when she needed the speed, just rocking and rolling off sacks. Five sleds remain. Alana Myers-Taylor is your leader. Race 4, BMW IBSF Women's Monobob World Cup. We're here in St. Moritz in Switzerland in 5th place. After the first of our 2 heats, China's Ying Qing. 800s ahead of current leader Alana Myers-Taylor. They're in a very tight battle with the next sled as well, Kim Kalicki. Again, Ying would love to move up and claim a medal. She's had a bronze medal in Sigulda at the end of last season. Ooh, that's enough tapping. That's enough tapping. 5.94, pretty decent getaway. .400s up at the start, 400s up still. So she's holding pace with Alana Myers-Taylor. Alana had great speed below. Little slide coming down into Sunny. Tidy in Nash and Dixon. Now she pinged down the straight here in the first heat. Gets a clean run, low line into Horseshoe. 1700s back, skid into Telephone. Skid into Shamrock rather, and then out of Devil's Dyke. The gap's only going to grow. Nothing like the speed she needs. Now she's in free fall. Melanie Hassler and Alana Myers-Taylor separated by just 600s. Angia Greco 5500s back. She might not be third at the line, Ying Qing. Only the 8th best speed ducks her head. She is 5600s back. Despite ducking her head, she didn't find enough. 1:11.81. She's in 4th at the bottom. And Alana remains in the leader's box. So the kids are going to have to wait another few minutes to see her. 4 to go. Alana Myers-Taylor, the leader. I said don't count her out. I think it's unlikely that Alana will get a medal. Ying loading a little cleaner than the first time. Down here in the forest, watch the runner tips. Just trying to stop it skidding onto the turn. That little runner check, quick shimmy with the hands. So, age-old trick to straighten up the front of the sled. 4 to go. 3 of them are German. So are we going to get a clean sweep of the podium? It's possible. Kim Kalicki, the women's bobsleigh world champion from last year on this track. A silver and a bronze in her 9 previous World Cup races in mono. Is she going to add to that? She was in 4th after the first heat, a 10th out of the medals. Start was good, but like everybody else, bouncing off the walls a little. 5.97, 400s quicker than her first heat. But that speed has gone away. It was a slender margin over Alana Myers-Taylor of 0.09 of a second. None of it remains. And again, little late off Snake, down to Sunny. Better out of Sunny. Nice into Nash. Nice out of Dixon. Hard over to the right. Oh, excellent exit. But Alana had an excellent exit there as well, and more speed going in. Again, Alana Myers-Taylor the leader. Melanie Hassler in second are just 600s apart. Then there's a further half second back to Andrea Greco in third. She's not going to be first at the line. She's not going to be second. She is going to be third at the line, Kim Kalicki, unless she finds something big, and she doesn't. 1:11.42. 3 to go, and Alana Myers-Taylor still leads. Kim Kalicki slips and will be no worse than 6th, but that hope of a medal has disappeared. Unless there are 3 crashes. I mean, you know. Well, Kalicki, not the strongest starting of drivers, but brought it down from 6:01 to 5.97, because she knows, like all of us do, every 100th counts. Gets a bit of the zero curve, couple of taps. We've seen worse. She's disappointed with that, I think, but offers her congratulations to Alana. They're all racing the same thing, the mountain and the stopwatch and themselves. Not actually racing your rivals at all. Okay, 3 to go. Lisa Buchwitz is in the medals, a 3-time winner in women's monobob. World Championship bronze medalist, the silver medalist, of course, Kaylee Humphries. Not racing this season as she's expecting a baby. 5.79 start, and the double tap that now seems pretty de rigueur. That's an epic getaway. 5.79 is a joint start record with Keisha Love. 4/10 is the advantage. Now, Lisa was only 1,200s off the lead and off a triple winning weekend. 2 monobob golds and a women's bobsleigh gold in Innsbruck before Christmas. Is she going to have to put up with being interviewed by me again today? Little tap coming into Horseshoe. Little tap onto telephone. 4,300. She's still got the lead and the speed. She will be in the medals. She's really coming on as a driver. Like Keisha Love, learned to drive while also being a brake woman. She's going to be in the leader's box. Alana Myers-Taylor's hopes, slender as they might have been of a medal, I think may be dashed. 4,700s up, brand new track record, 1:10.89. René Spies with a beard, Gert Leopold, the trainer of the German team. Lisa Buchwitz is in the lead with 2 to go. Little bit of a rocky Dixon, and the tiniest of taps there coming into Horseshoe. Didn't put her too badly offline. Height was still good. Watch the runner tips. You can see her steering off there. And look, almost straight there. Sending love back home as ever. 2 to go. And they were separated by 200. So this is, near as damn it, a dead heat. Bree Walker, Lauren Alter. Bree Walker 4th in the Worlds, a serial winner in women's monobob, but not yet in the World Cup. And our world champion in monobob, still to come, Lauren Alter. Pierre Luder's giving her the big up at the back. And this is definitely doable by Brianna Walker. She's a quicker starter than Lauren Alter, but she also knows that Buchwitz has laid down a massive challenge. That's a beautiful first corner off a 5.87 start. That is superb from Brianna Walker. I think she might feel this is hers for the taking. 200's up on Buchwitz, 200's up still. So Lisa's faster start has not been the undoing yet of Brianna Walker. Little rocky through Snake. Needs to be clean out of Sunny. She absolutely has to adapt to the faster track, the smoother flowing sled. 300's back. Out of Horseshoe, nice and smoothly. 600's back. Needs good speed. Has good speed. Buchwitz was quick in the forest. She's still in the red, Bree Walker. 3rd best speed, not as quick as Lisa Buchwitz. The gap will grow. Needs to be clean here, gets a tap. Lisa Buchwitz might lead this. I think she's going to. I don't think Brianna Walker's going to hang on. Lisa Buchwitz, the leader. Yes, Brianna Walker in 2nd place, will be in the medals. 1 to go.
That's all right.
1:11.14 for Brianna Walker. 6,500's better than her first heat. She needed another 10th. 1:10.89 from Lisa Buchwitz was a blinding run. And Brianna Walker is nobody's fool in these sleds. This girl can drive a monobob, no question at all. Today, not her day. Tantalising prospect of a gold gone away. However, she is in 2nd with 1 to go. And although Lauren Alter is the world champion, she's going to need to find basically a 2nd over her first heat. Now, the track is quicker, and she knows how this track develops from the World Championships. She knows how to drive this track. Key might be to start. 5.93 first heat. Can she find even 100th here? And can she be clean? 5.94. Rattles the wall. So she is in the red, not by much. This is going to be about soft hands and quick reactions from Lauren Alter. Reacting fast to how much more or less steering is required in this really slow stuff and trying to transmit that into the quicker corners. She's dropping behind Lisa Buchwitz. At the moment, she's dropping behind Brianna Walker as well. Nice exit out of Horseshoe. Needs the best speed, doesn't have it. Still close, but 2/10 is a big margin. Better speed than Buchwitz, but not by much. Half a mile an hour quicker. Lauren Alter, the world champion, in the red, into Martineau. Best speed. Is she going to lead at the line? She needs to be clean and duck ahead at the line. She's 1,300s back. She does take the silver medal, but Lisa Buchwitz takes her 4th bobsleigh win in a row after 2 mono and 1 women's bob gold medal in Innsbruck. She now wins in St. Moritz. Lauren Alter takes the silver ahead of Bree Walker. And the time for Lauren Alter, identical to Bree Walker, a 1:11.14. So they remain 200s apart after 2 1,750-metre runs. A little more comfortable load. Not very comfortable out of the first corner. Bree Walker was quicker. Well, some you win, some you don't. And So it is victory at a track other than Eagles. All three of Lisa Buchwitz's previous World Cup wins in Monobob have come in Innsbruck. And today, on the greatest track of them all, she shows that she is not a one-trick pony. It is not all about the start. Lisa Buchwitz drives herself to gold. And that means she has to do another interview, the least favourite part of the sport. Well, do you know what? If you have to put up with me every time you win a race, then it's a small price to pay. Lisa Buchwitz victorious in St. Moritz from Lauren Alter and Brianna Walker. Alana Myers-Taylor up to 4th ahead of Mel Hassler and Kim Kalicki. Adele Nicol, 10th place. Keisha Love, the points leader, in 9th. That might make things very close in the World Cup rankings, ahead of Cynthia Appia and Victoria Chananska. And congratulations to our rookies, Kelly van Petegem in 16th and Laura Pradzowski in 19th place. But the biggest congratulations of all go to Lisa Buchwitz, bronze medalist in the Worlds 12 months ago. She is now a World Cup gold medal winner here in St. Moritz. Her 4th career Monobob World Cup win and her first outside of Austria. Q, Lisa, you're on. Well, congratulations, Lisa Buchwitz, and she and almost everybody will be back in action tomorrow in the women's bobsleigh race, and that kicks off at the same time, 0900. Buchwitz is now the points leader from Bree Walker and Keisha Love in 3rd spot, Lauren Alter, Mel Hassler and Alana Myers-Taylor, the top half dozen. So those 3 wins in 3 outings in mono have vaulted Lisa Buchwitz clear to the top of the standings, 50 points clear of her closest rival. It's going to turn into a very interesting season, I think, this one. And that is it for women's monobob for St. Moritz. But bobsleighing continues this afternoon. The men in action at 1300 local, 12 GMT, 0700 Eastern. As you see the start of the 2-man race, we'll see you then. Bye for now.